Hello everyone, and welcome to HD Philosophy Plays Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. What's fascinating is
last time on Dragon Ball Z,
when I was playing that What If episode and Goku was versing like Super Saiyan Scouter Vegeta, there was something that he said in the fight that stuck with me. It was fascinating because after I finished the playthrough, I was speaking a lot about, Vegeta and the differences between Philonikeia and Philosophia. But when I ended stream, there was something that just kept ringing in my head.
Why bother killing innocent people like the Namekians?
Simple, because the universe has no room for the weak. So why don't you join me? Nothing will be out of your grasp. What do you say, Kakarot?
And that's when Vegeta says, well, actually, when Goku asked Vegeta why he came back for the Dragon Balls, and Vegeta was like, the universe is no place for the weak. And that struck me because as an ethics professor, I can't tell you folks how often the people who come in have so many Enlightenment presuppositions that weren't there before, and they take those thoughts for granted. One of them is autonomy. And we discuss Kant in my class, so they get to see where the Kantian moral philosophy hinges on autonomy and free will. But what they don't understand is it was Kant's Protestant upbringing that kind of molded that mentality right there. And if people follow the timeline on where might makes right turned into universal moral principles and respect for autonomy and respect for other religions. It came from an embedded just war theory from like a St. Augustine. It came from the Catholic Church. It was very much a religious ideology that embedded the divine nature of the divine nature of God in the individual. Kant says in his categorical imperative, you can never treat anyone merely as a means. They must be treated as an end in themselves. Because for Kant, he wanted everybody to have the autonomy to exercise their moral free will. Now, there was a moral law attached to that, the categorical imperative itself, that meant the decisions that you make, you need to will that everybody else makes them as well. Therefore, all the decisions we make will have a natural harmony towards the kingdom of ends. And it is this kind of mathematical understanding that with the right arithmetic, all of the pieces will fall in line. But what I find fascinating is that individuals nowadays who go against like the Catholic Church and things like that, they don't understand the baby they may be throwing out with the bathwater. And one of them is inherent value. Might makes right was the prevailing ideology. Why wouldn't a person who believed in God say, well, we'll fight it out, and whoever wins, clearly God was on their side? You see, it makes perfect sense to a pre-scientific mindset, right? And you don't even need to look very far. The Greeks, because I love Greek philosophy, even the Athenians during the Peloponnesian War, when they found the island of Melos and they were fighting these individuals, when Melos tried to appeal to that moral inclination that they shouldn't just do whatever they want and enslave them, the enlightened Athenians said, morality is a discussion between two people of equal strength. In this case, the strong can do whatever they want and the weak must suffer what they must. That was the prevailing ideology. What Vegeta said there, that the universe is no place for the weak, was the prevailing narrative. Because even people who believed in gods believed that the gods were on their side if they won, And so that's just something absolutely fascinating that stuck with me, because clearly Vegeta, with his very tribal mindset early on, because he was only thinking about himself and his people, clearly that tribal mentality went that way, because it always does. When you have a tribal mentality, you do not see the other individuals as your tribe. They are lesser beings. The whole idea of seeing your enemy as you are came from the idea of bringing the divine spark into my enemy. So I can't do whatever I want with my enemy. I'm not allowed to enslave them. I'm not allowed to torture them. There's even rules in civilized warfare, you see? So that's just something I absolutely found fascinating. I'm really enjoying the Sparking Zero stories. So with that, let's continue and let's play some more Sparking Zero. But now we're just going to run through Vegeta's storyline, because I'll be honest with you folks, Vegeta's the only one I care about here. So here is Vegeta, unable to defeat in elapsed time. So this should be easy. Just beat him, right? As Vegeta. So let's do it.
I never lose.
No matter the opponent, I never lose. I wish that was correct. Well, actually, I don't even know if I would enjoy it if he beat everyone.
Cursed robot! He escaped away faster than I thought.
Well, you did bluff him. After witnessing Vegeta destroy Android 19, Android 20 flees. It then comes to light that 20 was Dr. Gero all along. Vegeta pursues Dr. Gero as he heads towards his laboratory, but Dr. Gero seals his own fate when he awakens Android 17 and 18. As soon as they come online, they put a swift end to their creator. And that's an often theme right there, right? Then they proceed to boot up Android 16, another model. I don't know if you folks caught this, but that's the big difference right there. So that's the big difference between future Trunks and this timeline, was the addition of Android 16. For some reason, it may be because like Trunks was there to attack them and blow up the laboratory, and they saved Android 16 in that decision right there. And saving Android 16, I believe, caused this ripple effect where we get the timeline we get right here. And of course, the addition of Cell, right? Now a team of 3 androids depart for a place where Vegeta and the others won't find them. Vegeta catches up with the androids and lands before them. And he insults the hell out of them.
Well, well. Not the sort of place I expected to find you 3. But it'll have to do. Your leaving all of a sudden got me curious, I'll admit. Where is your destination?
Goku's house, wherever it is. To kill him.
Must kill Goku.
Just as I thought. But you're never going to get there. Because I, Vegeta, shall crush you here and now.
That arrogance, man. This brings me back. This one I was watching.
Vegeta seems to be pretty cocky, doesn't he? It must be a Saiyan thing.
This is the one I was watching in Japan. So this does bring me back.
Such a big talk, and then they end up dying so fast. It's a shame.
They always talk such a big talk. What other Saiyan have you killed at this moment?
You shut your mouth, you disrespectful toy. I'll rip all 3 of you to pieces. Who's first?
Well, maybe they have the insight, right, from Dr. Gero of when he lost.
Let's play. Just you and me. You've got to be kidding.
I tried to super counter that one. Man, she can disappear a lot, yeah?
You'll regret this. Damn puppet.
Damn
Can't
puppet.
tell if she's taking any damage or not. This is the end for you. Eat this.
Here we go again.
Nice.
Ah, I tried to get it.
Quit running.
Yeah, I blocked, and then let's see if this hits. Yes! There we go. Why is his shoes rounded? Do they not know it was pointing at this time? That's just probably, I don't know. Those kind of details irritate me. All right.
There's got to be more to my power than this.
Swearing to defeat the androids during the next encounter, Vegeta asked Bulma to make him a training battlesuit. Interesting. Vegeta then asked Goku, who has awakened after recovering from his heart virus, about the hyperbolic time chamber. After receiving the battlesuit from Bulma, Vegeta heads into the chamber with Trunks in order to train. To test his individual strength and overcome his limits, Vegeta asks Trunks to be his sparring partner. Oh wow, it's like he becomes virtuous or
Should I
something
show my father my new transformation?
without that. Well, okay, think about this. All right, so he wasn't humiliated by 18, and without that humiliation, it's almost like he starts introspecting, where he's kind of looking within himself and being like, there's got to be more to my power than this, you know? Because he beat 18 in this instance, but they still left. I didn't quite get that right there. But what I find interesting is this is opposite of usually what happens. For those who like or don't like Beauty and the Beast, or a lot of people out there who think Gaston is a hero, I understand the argument, trust me, because Gaston is basically the provider of the village. But he makes some fatal flaws that I think a lot of people overlook. The first fatal flaw is when he's introduced. He's a hunter who shoots the duck, right? And then his little LeFou, basically fool, runs over and grabs the duck. So LeFou is basically like one of those dogs that hunters keep around to go fetch the duck, right? But this is a human being, not a dog. So we already see the way Gaston can treat other human beings, no more than mere pets, right? Not a very good Kantian right there. But so that's not even the fatal flaw. It's when he attributes that hunt to Belle, as in, that's my target right there. You get the impression that he only cares about Belle because she's the highest prize in the town.
That makes her the best. And don't I deserve the best?
Well, of course. I mean, you do, but
Now, normally, that wouldn't be a big issue because obviously, men, we want to seek out the grandest prize. But the grandest prize coupled with treating another human being like a dog, now that's the problem right there. That's a big problem right there, right? Because he's seeking out the aim, not for virtuous reasons, but he's basically hunting her like a hunter hunts his prey. They are no more than a means to an end. So then Gaston goes and he tries to court Belle, right? But even when he's courting Belle, when he first talks to her, the things of which she finds important, the books, right? He disrespects them and tosses them. So again, he has no respect for her interest whatsoever. Big difference between the Beast and Belle, because the Beast offers Belle the entire library. So he's not afraid of a woman who wants to read and become educated. Well, at least that's kind of one of the inherent things that's going on there. But the big one, the one that I think a lot of people overlook, is Gaston had the ability to introspect in the correct way, and he didn't do it. So we have Vegeta here introspecting the right way. He's looking at himself and he's like, I think there's more to this power. I think I need to become better, right? And he goes into training, and in that becoming better, he's talking to his son here, and he's actively seeking to train with his son, something that didn't happen in the original, right? So back to Gaston, there is an area where he could have taken this Vegeta route to introspect. It's after he's humiliated by Belle and he is in the tavern and he's staring at the fire. Something we all do, people who camp. I can't tell you how often we're just staring at the fire and we're just introspecting about our lives. One of the things I loved about camping was building a fire and just staring at the fire, because I would do some of my deepest meditations and introspection while doing that. So the artist nailed that's what happens when we're sitting there staring at a fire. What he's doing is he's trying to analyze where he went wrong. It's the correct introspection. Like I talked about last week, those who are focused merely on victory are seeking things outside of themselves. They're not seeking to better themselves. They're seeking something outside of themselves. And so Gaston is staring at the fire and he's introspecting. He's doing what he's supposed to do. But what happens, everyone? All of his fans around him say, it's not you, it's her.
Hired as you, you're everyone's favorite guy.
No one does this like Gaston. No one's great like Gaston, right? That's what they end up doing, yeah? So they end up bringing him out of his introspection and putting him on the wrong path. The path of, there's nothing wrong with you, there's something wrong with her. And it's like, man, from Socrates to the Gulag Archipelago by Alexander Solzhenitsyn, there is something phenomenal that happens when we start to look at ourselves and ask where we went wrong. Socrates asking himself where his Athenians went wrong and asking questions on where they went wrong, fighting the sophists of the time. And then the Gulag Archipelago, Alexander Solzhenitsyn, who is imprisoned in the Gulag and is an innocent individual, looking at himself and saying, where did I go wrong? Alexander Solzhenitsyn had every right to turn against his own state. He was an innocent individual watching a bunch of other innocent individuals be jailed. He could have sulked in that gulag and he could have blamed everyone else. But if he did that, we wouldn't know his name till today. But he didn't. He asked himself the bravest question you can ask, the one that Vegeta asks himself here, the one Gaston was trying to ask in the fire until he got pulled by his friends. Where did I go wrong? And Alexander Solzhenitsyn looked at himself and he started investigating and talking to everybody in the Gulag, where he started asking them where we went wrong. And he ended up figuring out there were times he stood silent when he shouldn't have. You know, that is, that's Jonah and the whale right there. You know, you have a duty. You have a duty and you are ignoring that duty. You are not doing what you're supposed to do. And it is in the pits for Jonah. It is the pits of the whale's stomach that he starts to ask the question and say, okay, I will shoulder this duty. And then he is spit out and he goes and he succeeds. You know, it's that introspection. And the Gulag Archipelago, Alexander Solzhenitsyn asks this question and he ends up writing a book that leads to the collapse of the Soviet Union. Because it showed the world what is actually happening in Stalin's gulags. There's something so phenomenal that happens when we ask where we went wrong. And that's what happens right here. And I hope that the Dragon Ball writers here kind of give Vegeta the comeuppance he needs in this episode, because this is the key question that Vegeta should have asked him early on. Where am I going wrong?
Or would that be too damaging to his pride?
Should I show him the transformation? Well, let's see what happens, right? Oh, those arms are really long.
Let's not waste any time, boy. Spar with me.
Spar with me.
I'd be honored to. It's just... should I keep it to myself? Or show him what I can really do?
Hurry up. You better not hold back even the slightest bit.
There's your answer, Trunks.
Whatever you want.
That boy should serve as a good way to measure how much stronger I've become.
Oh, it's gonna happen. Oh, wait, maybe not. Oh, it's gonna... Gotcha. Wow, wasn't fast enough, huh? Wasn't close enough. But I got him. I was supposed to have Trunks beat me. Okay. Okay, I guess that makes sense. So let's go to this. There you go. Ooh. Okay. Wait, retry. Maybe there's a difference between like wearing them out. Maybe I'm just supposed to outright beat him. I mean, I thought I did, to be honest with you. There we go. That should take him out. Yep, all the way. Oh, I have an idea. I think I'm supposed to make him use his power. So it's not about beating Trunks. It's about making him show me that new power of his. Okay. Okay. That's gonna be fun. 3 bars though. Like,
Father is brutal. At this rate, I might have no other choice.
What's
good.
the matter with you? You're hiding
There we go.
something. If there's some secret technique you've yet to show.
There we go. I got it,
to me
everyone.
now.
Fine. Don't get angry if I beat you. This is my true power.
Nice. There we go, everyone. We did it.
Satisfied? This is what you wanted, right? Unbelievable.
I'm a super elite. I'm more than satisfied. Feast your eyes on Super Vegeta's Big Bang Attack!
I'm a super elite. I'm more than satisfied. I think we did it, everyone. There we go.
I don't know what you were thinking, but a transformation like this isn't going to be enough to take me down.
So then he sees the weaknesses in the Super Vegeta?
Brute strength alone isn't gonna cut it.
Is that what happened there? You know, there's something really... I mean, I probably say this all the time, right? So this is kind of like the Jordan Peterson, the way of viewing things. The truth will set you free. It's like people often choose to lie for the benefit of helping someone else. And I'll take it away from Jordan Peterson, and of course I'll keep it to philosophy. Immanuel Kant once said in this categorical imperative, you shouldn't lie. And he gives there's this example that's often given. Like if a neighbor comes to your house with a gun and asks you, where is your wife or where is your daughter? I want to shoot them. And Kant is like, you shouldn't lie in that instance. Now, obviously, he's not saying you should be like, they're right there, but you could say something to the effect of, I'm not going to tell you anything. You're threatening me, and I'm going to make sure I defend my family, something like that. But when you lie, you add yourself to the manipulation of the scenario. So to give the example of, imagine when that happens and you lie, but the person actually overheard that there was an individual by the doorway that wanted to kill them, and they run around the building, right? And your lie is what led the individual to be like, well, I'm leaving, and then they find them and they shoot them, right? You lie and say nobody's there, so the person walks away, and then they find them escaping and they shoot them. Your lie now added to the chain of causation. Isn't that fascinating? Because Kant was so skeptical and critical of the utilitarian mindset that placed morality at the consequences of an action based on how much happiness or how much tumultuous pain it avoided. It stakes its claim in that, the consequences. Then you can judge if it was a right or wrong action. Kant didn't want to place his flag in the consequences. So when you lie, you are adding to the scenario in a way that goes outside of the categorical imperative. So one should tell the truth. And you have this instance right here where Trunks wants to hide his feeling. He wants to hide his power for the betterment of the ego of his father. Now it looks like what's happening here is when Trunks told the truth, something amazing happened. Vegeta looked at that and now went, what a ridiculous form that I was able to beat. Without that, he might have thought that form was sufficient enough for Cell, right? But in this instance, Trunks not holding back his power led to a alternate route based on truth. And the idea that truth will set you free is a leap of faith that we take that is obviously embedded in Kantian philosophy. But the idea is, we're all sitting here in this world and we're not lying to each other. And that basic foundation of telling the truth is essential to communication. We all bank on the fact that telling the truth leads to what should happen, leads to the betterment, leads to the outcome that should happen. And when we lie, we are ceding our faith in truth to the faith in the lie. And the lie's judgment is based on what you perceive is the best outcome. How often are we wrong, though? It's like, isn't it fascinating that when I tell the truth, I have an upswell of information to pull from, but when I lie, there's only a limited amount of things I can make up? It's like Pinocchio's nose, right? That branches off into other branches when his nose grows into a tree. You know, what I always found fascinating is something I would tell my kids. If you tell the truth, you have an infinite swell of information to pull of because the truth is a powerful ally. If somebody asks me where my family went out to dinner last night, I can tell you folks the truth and say, oh, we went to Pond's, you know? And when somebody asks, well, what do you have? I can actually explain exactly what I had, exactly what my son had, my daughter had, and my wife had. But if I lied, there's a limited amount of information I would be able to produce in the lie. I can tell you, if I tell the truth, I can tell you what the waiter said, what he brought, if there was music playing at that time, what other people were doing when they were sitting around, an infinite amount of information based on the details of what actually happened. The truth is a powerful ally. And when we lie, we're saying that we don't like the outcome of the truth, so we're going to lie and manipulate the world into what we believe or what we perceive is the right way of doing things. And so here we have this instance where Trunks is telling the truth, and let's see where it leads. Come on. Don't fail me. Don't fail me, writers of Dragon Ball. Don't fail me on this outcome, because it is amazing what the truth does, right?
I'll cut out the act. Did you think I wouldn't notice? You're the son I had with Bulma, aren't you?
Nice. Truth adding to truth, right? When he tried to lie, he's like, cut it. I know. So truth, what is that? Compounding on truth.
It's fine. Stop worrying about it. Now, what were you going to ask?
Well, would you spar with me? I've realized that training all on my own isn't that helpful.
Yes, admittedly, even I've hit my limit pushing myself entirely so.
Wow, this is huge for his character at this point in time.
If you and I were to do battle, perhaps I could reach new heights that I never thought possible. Another step toward ultimate strength.
Oh, this is so great.
Let's get underway.
And it's his son that brought him out. It was his son that brought him into introspection. And it was the truth of the son telling the father, not holding back his strength because he wanted to be truthful to his father, that led to this right here. Oh my goodness.
Right.
Vegeta and Trunks continue training in the hyperbolic time chamber. As they train, a bond begins to develop between these two warriors who have surpassed Super Saiyan form. Upon completing their training in the hyperbolic time chamber, Vegeta and Trunks learn that Cell has already absorbed 17. They immediately hurry to his location and see that Cell is in the process of absorbing 18. Even so, Vegeta makes no attempt to stop him. Okay, because perfect form still happens, okay.
Hurry up and become your so-called perfect form!
Would Trunks stop this?
Serious?
Are you sure about this? If Cell progresses any further, he could become more powerful than ever.
I'm sure that's exactly what I want. My most powerful opponent yet.
That's something he has right. I mean, this is something I think about when I think about my wife, you know, the person who I have decided to tackle the world with. A lot of individuals will just shut down their significant other, men and women. They'll just shut them down. They don't want to hear their opinions. But it's like, what you're doing is you're creating an ally, a partner, a spouse to fight the world that is a paper tiger. You're making them weaker. And it's like, no, I want my wife to be the strongest ally possible. It's Beast who gave Belle the library, you know? Obviously, there's a lot of problems with Beauty and the Beast. I mean, honestly, Belle didn't even know that he was an animal, you know? Keep that in mind. She did not know that was a human who had become a beast and was cursed. So that's a little odd there. And I do believe there is, at the end, when she sees who the beast turns into, the guy, there does seem to be some disappointment in that writing. So yeah, there are those faults. But the things I took from it, though, is that an animalistic individual, and I was very animalistic when I was a teenager, we shouldn't see our significant other as somebody who we want to be weak. A paper tiger, without their own opinion, without their own ideals, beating them down every chance they get, telling them they can't do something that obviously I attribute to my kids as well. I try to pick my kids up. I have told my kids from the earliest inception and throughout their journey into adulthood that I want them to be stronger, smarter. I want them to be better than me in every single way, because I don't have the ego of thinking I am strong enough. And also at the same time, I want my progeny and I want my wife to be as strong as possible. And that's kind of the Vegeta in me as well. I want the strongest opponent, even though it often doesn't work out for him because they end up beating him, right? I still want the strongest opponent. I want the strongest ally. I don't want a paper tiger. I want a woman who can handle her own in arguments. And boy, oh boy, my education in philosophy, oh boy, did I pass that on to her as well. In our discussions, having the hard discussions, having the hard arguments, not ignoring one another. What we have become together is so much stronger than I would have been alone or solo. And that's something Vegeta learns right here in the hyperbolic time chamber. He can't do it alone. Two people are stronger than one. If you tie yourself to an ally who you don't want to beat down because you want to keep somebody weak around you so you look strong by comparison, no, you're constantly pushing one another. She makes me so much smarter. She makes me so much brighter. She brings aspects into my life of whimsy that I wouldn't have before. And at the same time, I've made her more logical and I made her more formidable. You should see her when people try to debate her. So it's just like, what kind of partner do you want? What kind of spouse do you want? What kind of, who do you want to tie yourself to? Because my wife, I wanted to tie myself to somebody who we could both be formidable as we go out into the world. And you have to ask yourself that. Are you tying yourself to someone weak so that way you look strong in comparison? It's not a very good warrior-like instinct right there.
A perfect cell could endanger the whole world. But maybe Father really is strong enough to take him.
I owe you much gratitude, Vegeta. But know this. You've now officially blown your one chance you ever had of defeating me.
You know what I just thought too? I don't know that Gohan was a very good sparring partner for Goku to become stronger. But Trunks is a very good training partner for Vegeta.
It's perfect. I have done it. I have attained perfection. Oh, do step forward, Vegeta. You shall serve as a fitting first victim to exemplify my limitless power. That's my line, insect.
Insect?
Your dream has come true, and now your life shall be at an end.
I'm almost getting it, everyone. Oh, that was a fast one. Why am I not recovering with that hit right there?
Oh, really? You're more impressive than I thought. So nice to know you weren't completely full of it. Is this all your perfection amounts to?
Oh, I'm not gonna get it in time because he did that vanishing attack.
Oh, you're something else, Vegeta. Feast your eyes.
Feast your eyes. Ah. Obviously, we're not going to beat him in our base form, so... In our base Super Saiyan form.
I simply cannot believe how long you've survived against me like this. I mean, to be perfectly honest, it almost feels like a shame to kill you. Every battle makes a Saiyan stronger. You won't live to see how much greater I'll become.
Man, he in his base Super Saiyan form, he's still holding his own because of the training.
Really now? Even more powerful than this? You become more and more fascinating by the second, Vegeta. Then I shall hold a martial arts tournament. Let's say 10 days from now. More than fair, I'd say. Plenty of time to reach the new heights you're teasing.
So Vegeta is just like, nah, you actually can't beat me. After fighting Vegeta, Cell's interest in Super Saiyans is piqued. To make his battle with Vegeta and the other Super Saiyans even more fun, he decides to hold the Cell Games, a martial arts tournament. To prepare for the Cell Games, which is taking place in 10 days, Vegeta and Trunks continue training in the hyperbolic time chamber.
I've never gotten to see Father's full power and true skill up close. I'd better take this opportunity to watch and learn.
And then, on the day of the Cell Games, Vegeta is first to step into the arena, ready to fight.
You know, I got to admit it. I genuinely thought you would disappoint me. However, you were stronger than I expected in our last encounter. Over these past 10 days, I've been shivering with excitement to battle you again. And here you stand, ready to give me another splendid show.
Oh, it'll be a show, all right. This'll be the first and final battle of the Cell Games. No need to worry about whose turn it is.
It's like he has a better idea of the strength as well because of the discussion he had with Trunks. It's like he has the insight he needs.
Ah, it's the beginning of the end, Vegeta.
Don't blink, Cell.
You'll regret this. That's the spirit, Vegeta. You know better than I that fights aren't truly interesting unless the opponent is somewhat equal in skill.
Yeah, you got
Oh,
that
I missed
right.
it.
Well done, I suppose. I mean, I went into this with low expectations, so consider me pleasantly surprised. Eat this, too slow.
He seems to be throwing the Kamehameha quite a bit here, so maybe we get into a war.
All right, then. What's wrong? Are you gonna give up now? I think you just about hit your limits.
Do it. Do it.
Not even close.
Yeah, it's been fun, Vegeta. Now, farewell!
Not happening!
Got him. Got him. So Trunks steps in? What was that? Yeah. Cell unleashes a ki blast to finish off Vegeta after tiring of their fight, but Trunks jumps in at the last moment to protect him.
Trunks!
Oh, it's like Piccolo. Hope he's not dead though.
My son.
Oh, this is gonna be the catalyst. Yup.
You son of a... What? You'll pay for this, bastard! Big Bang Attack! Damn you!
I missed that last one. Remaining by the side of his fallen son, Vegeta orders Goku and the others to give him their sensu beans. However, they sense something is wrong and hold back. Vegeta follows the directions of their gaze and sees.
His energy, it's
Cell. He has powered up even more.
no! It's not possible!
Surprised to see me? Allow me to explain. By way of a happy accident, my nucleus survived your last attack, allowing me to regenerate. It seems this body has taken a cue from Saiyan biology and extrapolated from near crushing defeat, giving me infinite stores of strength.
Yeah, so it's basically when Goku took him to King Kai's planet and he blew up. It's that.
Now, Vegeta, one last chance. Hit me with your best shot.
Fine. It was always the goal to kill you with my newfound power. And there won't be a single atom of you left when I'm finished.
His newfound power, eh?
Goodbye, Vegeta.
We're not through yet! Eat this! Big Bang Attack!
This is a different skill set.
Forget it. You won't survive this time.
Damn, I don't recover in time when he does that.
Too slow.
Too slow. Boom, 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 boom. Wow, he has a lot of life.
You fool. Forget it.
That one hit.
Too slow.
This is the end for you.
Infinite Flasher. That's interesting.
You fool!
Boom.
Vegeta!
Oh, look. All the confidence has dried up, hasn't it? Be gone!
I never thought I'd be pushed this far by you. But the game is over now, and it's about time I wrap this show up. Now you will suffer my wrath as I destroy this entire planet!
Have you forgotten? I can top a pathetic little attack like yours easily. Final Flash!
See you in hell!
Father!
It's no good. Vegeta's energy is too weak. He's being pushed back. Damn it!
Well, it's been fun. But this is goodbye, my friend. Farewell! Huh?
Final Flash!
Double Final Flash.
Did you?
I've become stronger. Father, all thanks to your help.
I'm okay with
Shut
this.
up. You did it yourself!
And I'll just show you. Ah!
You are impressive, boy. Just don't slow me down.
Of course not.
Now what say we
A
end
father's
this?
love.
Together.
Double Final Flash.
No! This cannot be!
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that last part, so what was it you were saying?
You really did it, Father.
Way to go, Vegeta! You actually had me worried there for a second.
Don't you ever doubt me again.
Father. Let's go home. Mom's waiting for us.
Of course.
Ah, amazing. There we have it. Another incredible sparking episode. Another incredible what if. The theme of truth. The theme of telling somebody what they need to know. Because I truly believe when you tell the truth, it's because you care about that individual. It may be the father in me. I could be wrong, although this is something I will die on a hill believing. The truth, when I speak the truth, it's for you. It's for your benefit. When I say to my son he's made a mistake, or when I tell my daughter I chastise her for a mistake she made, when I argue against my wife, even though I could just lie and keep going, I'm not doing that for me. I'm telling the truth for them to be a stronger individual so that they can be formidable in the world. When I lie, it's for me because I don't want them to be mad at me, or I don't want them to blame me, or I don't want some, in Trunks' case, some kind of relationship between them to be destroyed, you know? When I tell the truth, it's for you. When I lie, it's for me. And that's what I love about being a philosopher, a philosopher, philosophia, philo searching out, seeking out, Sophia is wisdom and truth. We live and die by the truth of the sword, which often is the reason why the philosophers are the first ones to get killed in tyrannical societies, because it is a tyrant that knows his power can be taken away by the truth of his atrocities. So as usual, take some time with the classics, everyone, because they will awaken the hidden dragon within all of you, and I'll see you next time.